Hello everyone, today we are going to do something a bit different.
We're gonna be answering questions that you submitted. Wait, Aaron, where are you?
I'm afraid that's highly confidential, Rally.
Okay.
And this is DrawINK Weekly. So let's get to your questions. What fictional world do you want to live in? I personally would love to be inside the world of Harry Potter. To have a Diagon Alley where I could buy a lot of sweets and snacks and as well as wands. I think that would be very impressive to let things Wingardium Leviosa around the place. I would love to be able to fly with a freaking broom. I think that would be amazing. As I'm always inside the apartment, and so now, I would have to if I had a freaking broom, straight all the way to Hogwarts, my friend.
I personally would love to live in the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's just so cool. I just think that the world building is so well thought out. From the characters to the magic systems, everything just blends and harmonizes everything together. And of course, who wouldn't want to be friends with Avatar or bend your own element? I personally would love to bend water so I could paint bend. No one's ever done that. That's something really cool that I want to do for the Avatar universe if I ever lived in it. The next question is from Miko. Judging from the people you interviewed and the experience you had, where do you think the local comic scene is headed? Honestly, I see it headed up. Nowhere but up. Everything just feels like it's falling into place. There's so much more happening. There's so much more artists that are able to promote their work, and in doing so they inspire other artists to make their own stories, their own comics, and it's just exciting to see all this new content coming from people you personally know or just know that are Filipino.
From the people that I've interviewed that are doing these different kinds of comics, I can definitely see the comic industry in the Philippines kind of slowly starting up. I haven't really been into any particular comics here in the Philippines, but reading some of the ones that came out from DrawINK, I could definitely see how that could draw in some more of the market. What's amazing with storylines and story arcs like Kurt Jack and Buster Mike is it's willing to incorporate things that are Filipino, genuinely Filipino, and whether that be by setting or the mythical creatures that is going to take part in that entire story arc. So that's something that's really exciting. To be able to make use of that, to see that in a comic book, I think would really bring out this new wave of fans. So I would say that right now, maybe the comic industry is not so well, especially because of the pandemic, but hopefully it does grow to be bigger and bigger as we do more and more reviews and as people do more and more comic books. Show and tell us what your favorite amongst your collections we see on your background. So, in my background, I do have a couple of Legos that are displayed there. Mostly they're Ninjago, so it was way back into 2010. I was an OG fan of that Lego series called Ninjago. The entire sets that I have, I think the best one that I have there was the Fire Temple, which is basically composed of, a freaking dragon. And the amazing part is that the architecture literally splits in two. So there you go.
I knew that this question was coming, and I would love to give you a tour, like a mini tour of this collection behind me. Let's go. So this is my background without me in it. So in the middle, you can see a portion of my Funko Pop collection, and below it are my tiny other collectibles, such as a row of adorable Pikachus with Mimikyu leading them. I also have a bunch of sleeping Pokemon here, and I was lucky enough to win some Neko Atsume. On top is something I'm really proud of. It's my 2 Stranger Things figurines. They are my only 2 Stranger Things figurines, actually. Both were given as gifts. And behind them are Funko Pop cereal boxes that I got when I went to New York. I had no idea that they had those. Disclaimer though, they taste really bad. Over here we have my Alice in Wonderland box, and below it we have my Beauty and the Beast display. Up here we have a small Batgirl collection, and here we have my few giant anime Figma. Under here we have some of my Nendoroids. I'm still fixing this up. And this is my current favorite part of the collection. This is my avatar shrine. There I have displayed is the art of the animated series of the original Avatar: The Last Airbender. And this, my Korra Funko Pop. But my real favorite figure from all of my entire collection right now is this. This is Birds of Prey Harley Quinn. As some of you may know, I absolutely adore Harley Quinn. I even cosplayed her for some of the DrawINK events actually. But like, as much as I love her, this is my only figure of Harley Quinn. I just love Harley Quinn so much. I think she's such a badass. And yeah. Which superhero power would you like to have and why? I want a superpower where I can slow people down. My name's Rally Rush, and people would think that I would want a fast superpower like speed or I don't know, but I want to do the opposite. I want to slow people down while I just go on my own regular pace, and everyone thinks that I'm going super fast, but no, they're just slow down and they don't know it. I hope that this sound is okay. I can't do anything. Sorry.
In terms of superhero, being a superhero doesn't really require power. That we've seen that from comic books like Batman and Nightwing. Sometimes it's really just the opportunity for you to have really good materials to work with, and I feel like that's really what being a superhero is all about. It's all about being very resourceful with what you have. So I would definitely say that if I were to choose a superhero power, I would choose something that's more realistic, that's more human, maybe intellect, maybe a good amount of intellect, enough to kind of fathom the world a little bit better. I really like to be able to experience having a really, really great mind, to be able to really understand the world around me. All I want is to be able to understand and comprehend things. I'm a very curious person, so that's why. Who would win in a fight between Buster Mike and Kurt Jack? That's a really interesting question. If you ask me personally, I would have to say Buster Mike has a bit more, magic to him. There's a lot more power. I don't think he's entirely human, and I think that gives him an edge. Kurt Jack is, unfortunately, he's a human being. He's kind of like a Batman. So I would have to say maybe Buster Mike. He's kind of like the Superman of the entire DrawINK. I'm not sure if it's called the DrawINK universe, but the entire universe.
This is a hard one because the creators of those comics are my bosses, and I don't want either of them to fire me for my answer. But if I have to be honest, like winning in a fight, physically, I'd say Buster Mike. Because the dude's got a metal arm. It's like Bucky vibes, I'm just saying, Kurt Jack, I love you. You, the creator, and you, the character. I think it's a really interesting character. Fight-wise, sticks ain't got nothing to that metal arm. And the boxing skills, I'm just saying. Sorry. And no, I didn't just say that because Pao was the president, okay? That was totally unbiased. Who would win in an actual fight? Paolo or CJ? CJ seems like he has the physical advantage, but Pao seems like he has a skill advantage. Aaron, who do you think would win in a fight? I'm scared to answer this.
So, as you may know, in the episode 2, that's where we had Paolo, and episode 3, if I'm not mistaken, is where when we actually had Kurt Jack. I would say Paolo, but who knows, right? CJ could pull out a gun anytime, and in that case, he would have won. I know CJ has a lot of things. From what I know, Paolo can definitely give a really good beating, but CJ would have a lot of edge in terms of the materials he has or possesses currently. So, someone who has weapons versus someone who has fists. I would say weapons. So I will say CJ will probably win the fight.
You know what? I'm gonna disagree with whoever Aaron says because I don't want to get fired. Love you guys.
What's next for comic readers in DrawINK Weekly? So that's a really great question. Thank you for that question. Currently, we've actually spoken about the amount of DrawINK content that's going to come out next, and there is quite a few, and some of them were mentioned during the entire interviews that we had. So far, we do have 4 comics coming out, and I am thankful. I think 2 of them you guys probably already know. The White Shadow, which is going to be in connection to Kurt Jack's universe, and Smokehouse, which has already had a trailer, which also features someone familiar. I think you probably would know that's also CJ. And so there's 2 comic books that I don't think have been spoken about just yet, so this is going to be the very first time. I'm actually quite curious to know what it's about, but as of this moment, this is all we can reveal, unfortunately.
We just want you to know that there are a lot of things coming up including a few comic titles that are being created by our very own members. In our group, we actually have this thing called a quest board, where anyone can pitch out their idea for a comic book story that they want to make. Once that idea has been posted, he or she can ask for help from the fellow members from each committee, like the art team, the writing team, get a colorist, a penciler, and a fellow writer to help them with their story, and to hopefully publish it just like the other comics that we already have published. So yeah, just stay tuned and be very, very excited for what's coming next in drawing.
Thank you so much for your fine questions. We here at DrawINK Weekly love to continue this conversation we have.
Yes, we hope you enjoyed our Q&As as much as we did. If you did, please leave a like or leave a comment down below.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm Raleigh. And this is DrawINK Weekly.